Good morning, everyone. In this video lesson, we are going to study about Yagi antenna. The various objectives of this lesson are we can know about parasitic elements used in Yagi antenna. What are the functions of the parasitic elements? We will discuss in detail about Yagi antenna and features and applications of Yagi antenna. A recap, we have studied about antenna and how it works. An electronic communication system consists of a transmitter, a receiver, and a communication medium. In some communication systems, the transmission medium is a direct link between transmitter and receiver, such as wire, cable, fiber optic cable, etc. The medium may be wired medium or medium may be wireless medium. In wired medium, we have wire, cable, fiber optic cable. In wireless medium, we have radio communication system. In radio communication system, there are no direct connections, no physical wires. The system is wireless. The modulated signal generated by the transmitter is sent into free space and is picked up by the receiver. The process of radiating the signal into free space and receiving it are the functions of the antenna. So antenna converts radio frequency electrical energy fed to it via the transmission line into an electromagnetic wave propagated into the space. An antenna is a structure that is capable of radiating or receiving electromagnetic waves. It is generally a metallic object such as wire or collection of wires used to convert high frequency modulated current into electromagnetic waves and vice versa. Conversion of RF energy into electromagnetic waves is done at the sending end, and conversion of electromagnetic waves into RF energy is done at the receiving end. Transmitting antenna is used to couple the space to the input of the receiver. Antennas are employed in different systems in different forms. That is, in some systems, the characteristics of the system are designed around the directional properties of the antenna, whereas in some other systems, the antennas are used to simply radiate electromagnetic energy in an omnidirectional, or in some other systems for point-to-point communication purpose with increased gain is required. So antenna, we have a physical size which is proportional to lambda. Lambda is proportional to 1 by f. For half-wave dipole, the size of the antenna is lambda by 2. So lambda in turn, it is related to frequency given by the formula. Lambda is equal to c by f. As f is more, lambda is less. So the physical size of the antenna depends upon the length of the antenna. That in turn depends upon the frequency. We require identical performance in transmitter and received modes for the same operating frequencies. That means when the antenna is oriented vertically at the sending end, the similar orientation will be there at the receiving end to receive the signal properly. That means if we use horizontally polarized antennas at the sending end, we have to use the horizontally polarized antennas at the receiving end. So for proper radio transmission, we require an antenna maybe that of a short length of a transmission line. When high frequency alternating source is applied at its one end, The resulting forward and reverse traveling waves combine to form a standing wave pattern on the line. However, all the forward energy does not get reflected at open end, and a small portion escapes from the system, and thus there is a radiation. So it is thought of as a short length. It depends upon the value of lambda. The electromagnetic radiation from the transmitting antenna has two components: a magnetic field associated with the current in the antenna and an electric field associated with the potential. The two fields are perpendicular to each other in space, and both are perpendicular to the direction of the propagation. An electromagnetic wave is horizontally polarized if its electric field is in the horizontal direction. Thus, an antenna fixed horizontally produces horizontally polarized waves. Similarly, vertical antennas produce vertically polarized waves. In the last class, we also discussed about folded dipole antenna. We have length of the half wave dipole is lambda by 2. When it is folded also, the length becomes lambda by 2. We can make a folded dipole antenna whose length is lambda by 2. For effective radiation into the space, the antenna must be folded, as we have seen. So folded dipole is a single antenna, but consists of two elements as shown in the figure. So it consists of two elements. This is one element. This is another element. The first is fed directly. This is the feed point. The first element is fed directly. While the second element, this is the second element. The second element conductively couples at the ends. At both the ends, it is conductively coupled. Now this length of the antenna is lambda by 2. The radiation pattern of folded dipole is same as that of the straight half wave dipole, but its input impedance is higher. Let the total current fed into the dipole is capital I. This is the capital I fed into the dipole. And the two arms has equal diameters. This is one arm and the second arm. These two arms have equal diameters. Then the current in each arm is I by 2. I by 2 flows in this arm. I by 2 also flows in this arm. That is one half of the current flowing in the first arm and the other half in the second arm. Hence, the input impedance is 4 times that of straight dipole. That is the reason half wave dipole is folded. Hence, the radiation resistance of folded dipole becomes 4 times 72, that is 288 ohms. For maximum power to be delivered to antenna, the impedance of the antenna at the point where it is driven must be same as the transmission line that connect the antenna to the transmitter. Very often these impedances are quite different, and some sort of impedance matching devices must be used for efficient operation. This is particularly a problem at high frequencies where the antenna impedance is low. To overcome this problem, the folded dipole is used. Folded dipole antenna has a wide bandwidth compared to the straight half wave dipole. This folded dipole is often used with other elements for television and FM broadcast receiving antennas. It is also possible to build folded dipole with different size conductors and with more than 2 conductors. In this way, a variety of feed point impedances can be matched. So this folded dipole antenna is often used for television receiving antenna. That is a Aggie antenna. So this is a main important element in the design of Aggie antenna. Aggie antenna is the most widely used television receiving antenna for VHF and UHF signals. This is the folded dipole structure. 300 ohms balanced feed line The modulated signal is applied here to the transmission line, then it is radiated into space. The impedance of this folded dipole is 288 ohms, and impedance of the free space is 125, which is closely equal to 288 ohms, and hence there is a better coupling of this particular antenna with the space impedance. Thereby, maximum power is converted into electromagnetic radiation. Now we will see about the parasitic elements which are used in the design of Aggie antenna. Before going into details about the Aggie antenna, let us look at what are the parasitic elements, because these are the elements that are used to design Aggie antenna. Not necessarily to connect directly array to the output or input of the transmitter or receiver. These are the parasitic elements. It is not connected directly. The element so connected directly is called driven element. These are the elements of lens, wires, and we have many parasitic elements. Out of many parasitic elements, if it is connected to the transmitter or receiver, we call that element as the driven element. So Aggie-Wood antenna consists of a driven element as the main antenna. The elements that are not connected directly to the source are the parasitic elements. The elements that are connected to the source is a driven element, whereas the elements that are not connected directly to the source. Why we are using a number of parasitic elements in the design of antenna? To increase the directive gain, to increase the directivity, so that we can transmit the signal to more distance, or else we can receive the signal from more distance. That is the reason parasitic elements are used in the design of Aggie antenna. Parasitic elements receive energy through the induction field of the driven element. So driven element is also a parasitic element, but it is connected to the feed point. So parasitic elements also receives the energy through the induction field of the driven element. They are nearby to each other, therefore there is an induction field of the driven element. They are also excited by the driven element to increase the maximum radiation and to increase the directivity in a particular direction. Radiates power from other elements. The various functions of the parasitic elements are reflector and director. Then we have two types of parasitic elements normally used in the design of Aggie antenna. One is the reflector, whose length is higher than the driven element. Director, whose length is less than the driven element. Reflector, it is longer than the driven element. So what is a driven element? It is a element, a parasitic element, which is directly connected to the television receiver or feed point. So longer radiator, longer than driven element is called a reflector. The function of the reflector is to reflect the energy, so that reflected energy comes to the driven element. Reduces signal strength in its own direction and increases it in the opposite direction. The function of the reflector is it reduces signal strength in its own direction and increases in its opposite direction. Its opposite direction means reflector is placed behind the driven element. So reflector reflects the energy, and that reflected energy comes to the driven element. So driven elements picks up the maximum energy for television reception. So reflector is longer than the driven element. It reduces signal strength in its own direction and increases it in the opposite direction. It acts as in a manner similar to concave mirror in optics. The same principle as used in concave mirror in optics technology. The function of the reflector is similar to the concave mirror. Now we have the another parasitic element, the most important parasitic element. It is a director. It is shorter than the driven element. Increases signal strength in its own direction and increases it in the opposite direction. The function of the director is just opposite or reverse to that of reflector. So it is placed before the driven element, so it increases signal strength in its own direction and increases it in the opposite direction. Behaves like a convergent convex lens in optics. So this is the basic structure of Agee antenna. This Agee antenna consists of a folded dipole. This is the main antenna. Agee-Uda antenna, it is also called as a Agee-Uda antenna, invented by Agee and Uda combinedly, or simply we call it as Agee antenna. Consists of a driven element. This is the driven element. Folded dipole is used as a driven element. It is a parasitic element. All these elements are parasitic elements. The driven element is folded and it is connected to the receiver, television receiver. This is the main antenna. And it consists of one reflector. This is a reflector, long radiator, which is connected behind it is a reflector, and one director in front of the driven element. This is a director in front of the driven element. This reflector increases radiation in its opposite direction. It reflects the signal. The signal is reflected and the total energy is coming at the feed point, that is at the driven element. Similarly, director, it is increasing the radiation its maximum direction. It will not reflect the signal. It supports the maximum radiation towards the driven element. And we have one or more parasitic elements. These are parasitic elements that are placed in front of the driven element, in front of director. They are arranged collinear and close together. So they are arranged collinear, linear spacing is there, and they are close together. So this is another structure which we can see. We have elements, parasitic elements. One element which is directly connected to the source or the feed point, it is a driven element. Longer radiator is the reflector. Then we have director and one or more parasitic elements. This is the direction of maximum propagation. And the signal is applied here. The signal is going in this direction. All these parasitic elements increases the signal strength in the favored direction. Similarly, when the signal is coming here towards the reflector reflect the signal. So all the energy will be coming forward and they are providing direction in a point-to-point manner. It is towards the receiver. When it is acting as a receiving antenna, all the energy will be received towards the driven element. Some energy escaping through the driven element will be reflected by the reflector, and that is collected in the driven element. So folded dipole antenna is the main antenna. It is a driven element, same length as half-wave dipole. It uses two conductors. Impedance becomes 4 times that of normal dipole. The approximate impedance is 300 ohms at resonance. Bandwidth is greater than single conductor dipole. Compose 2 or more parallel and closed spaced dipole antennas connected together at their ends, one of the dipole antennas being center fed. This is the structure of the folded dipole, which is used as a driven element. Transmission line, 300 ohms balanced feed, one antenna, another antenna conductively coupled here, whose length is lambda by 2, and this is the main important element in the design of Agee-Uda antenna. Now let us see about Agee antenna in detail. This Agee antenna, sometimes we call it as Agee-Uda antenna, commonly known as Agee antenna. It is a directional antenna. Why it is called directional antenna? The signal will be radiated towards a particular direction. If it is used as a transmitting antenna, the signal will be radiated in a particular direction, in which direction it is oriented. Similarly, this can be used to receive a signal from a particular direction. For example, if we place Agee-Uda antenna as a television receiving antenna, if that is oriented toward the TV transmitter radiating the signal, and this antenna oriented toward the TV transmitter, so it can pick up the signal from the TV transmitter. So it is a directional antenna. Agee-Uda antenna, it is commonly known as Agee antenna. It is a directional antenna consisting of multiple parallel elements. There are a number of parasitic elements. They are connected in the form of a line, usually half-wave dipoles. They are made up of half-wave dipoles. They are made up of metal rods. These parasitic elements are made up of metal rods, and they are consisting of parallel elements in a line. The main element is the driven element, folded dipole. We have a director, we have reflector, and one or more parasitic elements to increase the directive gain of this Agee-Uda antenna. Agee-Uda antenna consists of a single driven element connected to the transmitter or receiver with a transmission line. For example, when we want to radiate the signal from the transmitter, this Agee-Uda antenna is connected to a transmitter through the transmission line. From feeder cable or transmission line, the modulated signal from transmitter comes to the Agee-Uda antenna, and then this antenna radiates the signal in a particular direction, in which direction it is oriented. So, driven element, we are feeding the signal to a driven element. Similarly, when Agee-Uda antenna, when it is used as a receiving antenna, it should be connected to a receiver with a transmission line and additional parasitic elements which are not connected to the transmitter or receiver. So we have driven element. It is connected to the television receiver. The signal is picked up at the driven element. Reflector providing gain towards the driven element. Director also providing gain toward the driven element. Thereby, total directivity increases at the driven element, and the signal will be picked up at the driven element, and it is connected to the TV receiver through the transmission line. So this antenna is particularly used for television receiving antenna, and hence Agee-Uda antenna. We can also call it as Agee antenna simply. It is a directional antenna consisting of multiple parallel elements in a line, usually half-wave dipoles made up of metal rods. Agee antenna consists of a single driven element connected to the transmitter or receiver with a transmission line and additional parasitic elements which are not connected to the transmitter or receiver. A Agee-Uda antenna, simply Agee antenna, consists of a driven element, one reflector behind the driven element, and one or more directors in front of the driven element, one or more parasitic elements in front of the directors. The driven element is a half-wave dipole or a folded dipole. The reflector is simply longer than the driven element, and the director is slightly shorter than the driven element. The spacing between elements varies, but typically we can take it as lambda by 10. The other parasitic elements are used to increase the radiation in the favored direction. So Ag antenna consists of a driven element connected to the transmitter or receiver with a transmission line, and we have parasitic elements, that is a reflector, director, and one or more parasitic elements to increase the radiation in the favored direction. These parasitic elements are spaced typically lambda by 10. It was invented in the year 1926 by Uda and his colleague Agi. Both the scientists invented Agi-Uda antenna for the purpose of reception of VHF and UHF. Similarly, for the purpose of transmission of UHF and VHF signals. This is the basic structure of Agi-Uda antenna. This is a support rod, and all the elements are connected to this support horizontal rod. This antenna is oriented horizontal. It is used as a television receiving antenna. Since television signals are horizontally polarized, this antenna is mounted horizontally. This is a folded dipole acting as a driven element. This is longer than the driven element. It is a reflector. This is a director, shorter than the driven element. Similarly, we have short lens, decreasing lens. These are the parasitic elements. So Agi antenna or simply Agi-Uda antenna consists of a driven element, one reflector behind the driven element, and one director in front of the driven element, and one or more parasitic elements in front of the director. They are arranged collinear and close together as shown in the diagram. The driven element is a half-wave dipole or a folded dipole. The reflector is slightly longer than driven element, and the director is slightly shorter than the driven element. The spacing between elements varies, but typically of lambda by 10. The other parasitic elements are used to increase the radiation in the favored direction. And what are the different functions of the driven element? See this diagram, we have a reflector, folded dipole, director. This folded dipole is acting as a driven element, director, and more number of parasitic elements. These parasitic elements, we also call it as multiple director. These are also used for increasing the gain in the favored direction. The function of the parasitic elements are similar to the function of the director, so we also call it as multiple directors. So in order to ease the problem of feed line, it is sometimes desirable to feed certain antennas of an array parasitically. The elements which is supplied power from source, that is transmitter, is called a driven element. It is a driven element. It is supplied with the source. But a parasitic element is not fed directly. Instead, parasitic elements derives power by radiation from nearby driven elements. So they are getting radiation from the nearby driven element. In other words, the parasitic elements obtain power through electromagnetic coupling with a driven element. A parasitic elements lengthened by 5% with respect to driven element acts as a reflector. This is a reflector. It is approximately 5% longer than the driven element. Similarly, 5% shortened by the driven element is a direct. A reflector makes the radiation maximum in the opposite direction from parasitic element towards driven element, and the director helps in making maximum radiation in perpendicular direction from driven element to the parasitic element. A properly designed parasitic array can provide large front to back ratio. What is front to back ratio? It is the radiation in the favored direction divided by radiation in the opposite direction. This quantity should be higher. So these parasitic elements, if you provide more number of multiple directors, then it can increase the front to back ratio of the antenna, which is one of the desirable characteristics of Aggie antenna. This feed point, this transmission line, coaxial cable, or a line, transmission line connected to the folded dipole, and through balancing unit, it is connected to the television receiver. This is a reflector. This is a driven element or folded dipole that is directly connected to the television receiver. It is a director which increases the gain in the favored direction. These are also called as directors or other parasitic elements. They are providing maximum radiation in the favored direction. Since this cable is connected to the folded dipole, this parasitic element, we call it as the driven element. So Aggie antenna, sometimes we call it as Aggie array. It consists of an array of elements. That is the reason it is called Aggie array. Parasitic, end-fire, unidirectional. End-fire also having the same directional radiation pattern. The radiation pattern is unidirectional in one particular direction. One driven element, we can use dipole, half-wave dipole, or a folded dipole. We use normally folded dipole to increase the radiation resistance of an antenna for proper reception of the signal. One reflector behind driven element and slightly longer. One or more directors in front of driven element and slightly shorter. The Aggie antenna is a simple form of a directional antenna based on reflector placed lambda by 4 from the dipole antenna's placement. Typically, we can take lambda by 10 as the spacing between them. Complex analysis to define the radiation pattern are experimental rather than theoretical calculations. We can calculate radiation pattern based upon the addition of individual radiation patterns of the different parasitic elements. Now we'll say about the features of Aggie antenna. It consists of a driven element, a reflector, and one or more directors. Driven element is usually a folded dipole which is excited. Excited means the signal is applied, transmitter is connected to driven element, or receiver is connected to driven element when it is acting as a receiving antenna. It is folded dipole to increase the radiation resistance. So it consists of driven element, reflector, and one or more directors. Driven element is usually a folded dipole which is excited. Director is a straight conductor placed in front of driven element towards transmitter. or towards receiver when it is acting as a receiving antenna. Reflector is also a straight conductor. It is placed behind the drive-on element. The basic structure of the Ag antenna, it consists of drive-on element, reflector, director, and other parasitic elements. Sometimes other parasitic elements are also called as directors. So drive-on element is usually a folded dipole which is excited. Director is a straight conductor placed in position of drive-on element towards transmitter. Reflector is also a straight conductor placed behind the drive-on element. The length of the folded dipole is lambda by 2. We are making use of half-wave dipole and it is at resonance. The length of the director is less than lambda by 2. It is 5% shorter than lambda by 2. And length of the reflector is slightly greater than lambda by 2. You will see the exact values when we deal with a problem. Its radiation pattern is almost unidirectional and gives a gain of more than 7 dB. So we are making it as a unidirectional antenna. In a particular direction, the signal can be radiated. By using this antenna, a signal can be received from a particular direction. Because transmitter is somewhere and we are orienting this particular Ag antenna toward the transmitter so it can receive maximum energy from that particular direction. It is used as a transmitting antenna for HF, high frequency signals, and is used for television reception at ultra high frequency, that is UHF frequencies. Back lobe can be reduced by bringing the elements closer. There should not be any back lobes because the signal cannot be radiated in the opposite direction. We want only a unidirectional radiation pattern. Place the elements very close that the spacing between them, if we make lambda by 10, we can reduce the back lobes. This reduces the input impedance of the antenna and hence there will be a mismatch. Therefore, we have to go for a certain compromise, how much bandwidth is required, how much energy in the forward direction is required, how much input impedance that we require. Based on this, we can design the elements of the Ag antenna. The effect of parasitic elements depends on their distance and tuning, how much distance these parasitic elements are placed. In other words, the effect depends on the magnitude and phase of the current induced in them. So there are so many design considerations: the length of the parasitic elements, the spacing between the parasitic elements. All these are the things that we are supposed to consider for the design of Ag antenna. Reflector resonates at a lower frequency and director resonates at a higher frequency compared to that of a drive-on element. Because the length of the reflector is more, therefore its frequency is lower. Director resonates at high frequency because its length is less, lambda is less. Folded dipole is used to obtain high impedance for proper matching between transmitter and free space. If the antenna is folded, there will be a proper matching between the transmitter and free space for better radiation into the space. Similarly, folded dipole is used to obtain high impedance for proper matching between receiver and the free space when it is used as a receiving antenna. More directors can be used to increase the gain. Directors functions are used to increase the gain. In this case, directors can be of equal length or decreasing slightly away from the drive-on element. We are arranging so many number of parasitic elements with a decrease in length slightly away from the drive-on element. But adding too many directors will change the impedance. That is why select the number of directors in such a manner that there should not be any impedance mismatch. See the proper balancing between the elements and the overall impedance of the Aggie antenna, so that there is a better coupling of this particular antenna to the space. It is relatively broadband because of the use of the folded dipole. When it is broadband, we can receive the signal that each television channel requires a bandwidth of 7 megahertz. To incorporate both audio and video modulation products, 7 megahertz bandwidth is used for each television channel. So this folded dipole increases the bandwidth, and hence it is relatively broadband because of the use of the folded dipole. It has good front to back ratio. If we provide more number of parasitic elements, we can increase the front to back ratio. And its bandwidth is limited, we can receive for a fixed frequency applications. So we have driven element, reflector, director, and parasitic elements. This is the direction of the maximum propagation. In short, we will call this antenna Agee-Uda antenna, simply Agee antenna. Consists of driven element, one reflector behind the driven element, and one director in front of the driven element, and one or more parasitic elements in front of the directors. They are arranged collinear and close together. The driven element is a half-wave dipole or a folded dipole. The reflector is slightly longer than the driven element, and the director is slightly shorter than the driven element. The spacing between elements varies, but typically lambda by 10. The other parasitic elements are used to increase the radiation in the favored direction. In order to ease the problem of feed line, it is sometimes desirable to feed certain antennas of array parasitically. The element which is supplied power from source or a transmitter is called driven element. But a parasitic element is not fed directly. Instead, parasitic elements derive power by radiation from nearby driven element. In other words, the parasitic elements obtain power through electromagnetic coupling with a driven element. A parasitic element lengthened by 5% with respect to driven element acts as a reflector, and shortened by 5% acts as a director. A reflector makes the radiation maximum in perpendicular direction from parasitic element towards driven element, and the director help in making maximum radiation in perpendicular direction from driven element to the parasitic element. A properly designed parasitic array can provide a large front to back ratio. And this is the radiation pattern of Agee-Uda antenna. It is a directional antenna. So in this particular direction, we have maximum radiation. These are the minimum radiations. Because the reflector is not completely perfect, so there will be reflections in the unwanted directions the signal is going, but there is a maximum direction gain is going. The radiation pattern of a typical Agee-Uda antenna is unidirectional with a single major lobe and several minor lobes. This is a single major lobe in a particular direction. We have 3 dB bandwidth in a particular direction, and we have several minor lobes also existing. Relatively, it has got less gain compared to the major lobe. So radiation pattern of typical Agee antenna with one element director, one reflector is like this. If we increase more number of parasitic elements, 8 elements, etc., we can increase the gain in the favored direction. Agee antennas are constructed with 5, 6, 8 elements for a gain of about 10 dBi, but higher gains up to about 16 dBi can be achieved by using more number of directors. So it also has side lobes at the sides of the patterns and lobe to the back of the pattern. It has front to back ratio approximately 15 dB. A folded dipole is generally used for drive an element because of its bandwidth is wider than that of the straight dipole. This is Aggie antenna for 14 megahertz, 21, 28 megahertz. It is located at a certain height. Horizontal polarization is there. So this antenna is oriented horizontally. Most of the Aggie antennas are used in the space wave applications. This is another structure of a Aggie wood antenna placed vertically. It receives the signal from vertically polarized antennas, or it can radiate the signal vertically into the space. They are stacked arrays here to increase the gain. Is another structure. We have Aggie with corner reflector. This structure will act as a reflector, so more amount of energy will be available at the feed point. It is a UHF TV antenna. To increase the gain further, we are making use of a corner reflector antenna. This structure is a corner reflector antenna. And we have VHF, UHF antenna. UHF Aggie antenna with a reflector. And it is acting as a reflector and it increases the gain in the favored direction. We have stacked Aggie antennas, stacking in phase Aggie antenna with half wave vertical. Reduces radiation above and below horizon, increases gain in plane of the antenna. This is the structure of the stacked Aggie antenna. One antenna placed above here and another antenna placed below here. 1/2 wavelength separation is provided between them. They are stacked on a tower. Thereby, Aggies are fed in phase, providing maximum gain in a particular direction. In order to increase the gain in a particular direction, the different Aggie antennas are stacked together. Spacing between them is 1/2 wavelength separation. And we have UHF TV antenna. It is a Aggie antenna with corner reflector. Now we'll see the applications of Aggie antenna. It can be used as a UHF television transmitting antenna. You can transmit television signals, UHF television signals in a particular direction. It can be used as a VHF television receiving antenna to receive the signals from VHF television channel. Aggie wood antennas are mostly used for frequencies below 1.2 gigahertz. At higher frequencies, parabolic dish antenna, that is the dish antenna, can be used at frequencies above 1.2 gigahertz. Whereas below 1.2 gigahertz, we can make use of Aggie wood antennas. Aggie wood antenna have relatively narrow bandwidth and suitable for single band operation. They are most suitable for point-to-point commercial links from one point to another point, commercial links at VHF and UHF frequencies. This is an antenna particularly used for as a UHF transmitting antenna and VHF television receiving antenna. Now let us see the design considerations of Aggie antenna. Design a 3-element Aggie wood antenna to operate at a frequency of 64 megahertz. For example, let us receive a signal 64 megahertz. For example, a television channel, we have 61 to 68 megahertz band. 7 megahertz, we have a television channel whose frequency slot is 61 to 68 megahertz. The center frequency, we can take it as 64 megahertz. We want to receive that particular television channel. Now design this antenna. In the design of Aggie wood antenna, it is required to calculate the length of the driven element, length of the reflector, length of the director, and also spacing between the elements. The given frequency is 64 megahertz. Then we can calculate the wavelength by using the formula lambda equal to C by F. 3 into 10 power 8 divided by frequency of operation is 64 into 10 power 6. We are getting it as 4.68 meters. This is lambda. In Aggie antenna, half-wave folded element is used as a driven element. Hence, the length of the driven element is lambda by 2. Lambda is calculated as 4.68 divided by 2. 2.34 meters is the length of the driven element. Similarly, length of the reflector, it is more than the length of the driver element. This is 0.5 lambda, whereas reflector length is 0.55 lambda. This lambda by 2 is nothing but a 0.5 lambda. It is the length of the driven element. Length of the reflector is 0.55 into lambda. 0.55 into lambda value is calculated as 4.68. We are getting it as 2.57 meters. Similarly, length of the director is shorter than the driven element. Driven element length is 0.5 lambda, whereas length of the director is 0.45 lambda. 0.45 into lambda is 4.68 calculated here. So we are getting it as 2.10 meters. Spacing between the elements is in the order from 0.15 into wavelength to 0.4 wavelengths. Typically, we can take it as 0 lambda by 10 wavelengths. So how do you design the Aggie-Wood antenna for the given frequency of operation? From frequency, calculate the value of lambda. Lambda equal to C by F. So we are getting the value of lambda. Then length of the driven element is lambda by 2. Length of the reflector is 0.55 lambda. Length of the director is 0.45 lambda. Spacing between the elements, we can take it as 0.15 lambda to 0.4 lambda, whichever is convenient. So that we can adjust the radiation resistance. So this is the design consideration of Aggie-Wood antenna for a given frequency of operation. And let us summarize what we have studied in this class. In this lesson, we have discussed about functions of parasitic elements, Aggie-Wood antenna, applications of Aggie antenna. Let us answer some quiz questions. The parasitic elements that decreases signal strength in its own direction is called director, reflector, folded dipole, driven element. The answer is reflector. Reflector decreases signal strength in its own direction. It is reflecting the signal. Next question, radiation resistance of folded lambda by 2 dipole is. Options are given. The answer is 288 ohms. It is 4 times that of the straight dipole. The parasitic element shorter than the driven element is. Answer is director. The driven element used in Aggie antenna is. Options are given. The driven element is a folded dipole antenna. And let us answer the questions after listening to this lesson. These are the possible questions one can answer after listening to this lesson. Explain the functions of parasitic elements. Draw the radiation pattern of Aggie antenna. Explain Aggie antenna. Mention the applications of Aggie antenna.